day, learners. I am your student teacher, Danica Bobares, a second year student at BCC from 2L. Today we are going to discuss about poetry in its elements. So before we start, let us know first our lesson objectives. First, define poetry. Second, identify the basic elements of poetry. And third is the learners must write a poem employing the basic elements and techniques in writing poetry. So, learners, are you now ready to listen and learn? Great! So, what is poetry? It is a piece of writing in which words are chosen for their beauty and sound and are carefully arranged, often in short lines. It is a composition and verse, especially one that is characterized by a highly developed artistic form and imaginative interpretation of the subject. There are various elements of the poetry. We will now discuss some of its basic elements, namely stanza, rhythm, line, meter, rhyme, rhyme scheme, theme, mood, and tone. Let us start with the first one, line. It is a unit of language into which a poem is divided. So for example, this poem has 4 lines. A group of lines make up a stanza. So what is stanza? It is used to describe the main building block of a poem. It is a unit of poetry composed of lines that relate to a similar thought or topic, like a paragraph in prose or a verse in a song. So every stanza in a poem has its own concept and serves a unique purpose. So going back to this example, so this group of line is called stanza. Each line of stanza has rhythm. So what is rhythm? So rhythm can be described as the beat and pace of a poem. This rhythmic beat is created by the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables in a line or verse. This is the music statement of a poem, which includes the syllables in the line. So, the best method of understanding this is to read the poem aloud and understand the stressed and unstressed syllables. So, rhythm is often partnered with meter. So, what is meter? Meter is a unit of rhythm in poetry. The pattern of the beats. It is also called a foot. The meter in the line in poetry is identified through the stress and unstressed pattern of words. Poetic rhythms are measured in metric feet. So, for example, a line of a poem has 10 syllables. Having stress and unstressed pattern, then the meter is pentameter or 5 metrical feet. Rhythm and meter from the rhythmic structure of a poem. Example of these are the iambic pentameter, trochaic tetrameter, and so on. The next element is rhyme. So what is rhyme? It is the repetition of identical or similar concluding syllables in different words. So poems may or may not have rhyme. Those without rhyme are called free verse. Let's proceed to rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhyme at the end of each line is called the rhyme scheme. How do we identify the rhyme scheme of a poem? So there are endless numbers of rhyme schemes that may manifest in a poem, but some of the most popular ones included. So for example is ABAB, ABCB, AABBA, AABB. So let's see how this works through these examples. This is based on a book of nonsense by Edward. This example has AABBA rhyme scheme because the first, second, and fifth lines
are rhyme, while the third and fourth also rhyme. Let us now move to the next element.
So for the next element, we have the theme. It is the underlying message that the writer or artist wants to convey. Themes can feature poetry, a short story, a novel, or even a work of art. It is a form of sentence. So, for example, in the story of Pinocchio, the theme is dishonesty leads to trouble. This is the central message of our theme. These are also used in poetry. So, theme can be more than one depending on our interpretation of the poem. So, the next element of poetry is the mood. Mood is refers to the atmosphere that is prevalent in the poem. So, this is the feeling evoked from the reader while reading the poem. Mood is very much subjective and depending on how we feel as a readers. So, the counterpart of a mood is tone. Tone is the poet's attitude toward the poem speaker, reader, and subject matter as interpreted by the reader. So often described as a mood that pervades the experience of reading the poem. It is created by the poem's vocabulary, syntax, or the use of figurative language and the rhyme in short. So, this is the writer's feelings on the subject he or she is writing. We have already discussed the 9 basic elements of poetry. So, what are they? We have the line, stanza, rhyme, rhythm, rhyme scheme, meter, theme, mood, and the tone. So, are these clear to you now, everyone? Very good. So, let's find out by undergoing our final activity. So, for your instructions, you have must write a poem with the following elements. First, it must have 3 stanzas with 4 lines each. Next is use the ABAB rhyme scheme, and the theme should be winning your happiness. The tone is inspirational and empathetic, and the mood should be empowered or joyful. Combine all these elements on your poem. Very good, learners. So I hope you learn from our discussions. Again, this is your student teacher, Danica Babares. Keep safe and see you. Bye-bye.